hello, Danger Noodles. We are back with the GOCs. The first one is Christianity.
That disagrees, I think. Sup, bro?
I'm sorry.
What do you want?
I'm sorry, I had to say that. Anyways, no. The first one is actually the Mana Charitable Foundation. Overview. Established in 1971 as an interfaith humanitarian relief agency, recovered documents describe the Mana Charitable Foundation's mission as sharing all of God's miracles with the least of his children. Funded,
Sorry.
bless you. Uh, Funded indirectly through associations with various charitable groups and religious organizations, and on occasion publicly endorsed by wealthy uh, philanthropists or academic institutions. Did I say that right?
I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Holy shit, I actually said it right. Anyways,
Philanthropist.
Keep going.
the MCF's primary agenda since its founding has been the free distribution of anomalous objects and their byproducts to civilians living in poverty-stricken regions in the Third World or to areas afflicted by warfare, famine, or natural disaster, aka Christianity. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I can't stop comparing it to Christianity.
Well, I mean, let's just be frank. This is less satire and more just like Christianity if they're actually, following the teachings well.
Yeah.
Try to help people who are needy.
Wasn't there that one, I forgot what she's called, but it's a step above priest? That one lady who was a Catholic, like, Catholic something. One
Cardinal?
step above, huh?
Cardinal?
Yeah. That one cardinal who basically told a certain Cheeto Puff to have mercy on those who need help, and he took it as an attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, was she Catholic? I thought it was a different denomination.
I thought it was Catholic, but maybe I was wrong.
I'm pretty sure they're trying to think. I think that's like an Anglican church of some kind. I can't
Oh,
remember either. But yeah, I think we know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, to continue, the MCF is currently recognized as a non-governmental organization by the United Nations and is known to operate legally and illegally in several hostile or isolated regions outside the Foundation's sphere of influence. While no SCP objects known to have been distributed by the MCF to date have caused intentional harm to human beings or communities, and detained MCF operatives tend to demonstrate strong pacifist beliefs, containment breaches associated with the group have often resulted in human casualties or severe threats to the global status quo due to unforeseen consequences of the object's release from containment and or a zeal to distribute potentially helpful objects immediately without rigorous scientific study for their long-term behavior.
Hmm.
Also, there's
I
one
will.
thing I forgot to show at the beginning of stream and I'm a fucking idiot.
What?
For
what?
stream, in case you haven't seen on Twitter, I am showing this right now, the Great Dr. Stone-a-thon, as well as the mini donation goals that you can achieve, now happen on April 1st, 2025 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Thank you for your time. Alright.
Okay. So before even getting into
Yeah.
incidents that they have,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say I'm feeling a strong like neutral or chaotic good, either that or incompetent good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem like they're probably going to be good, but they might go to incompetent good.
Yeah.
Why is everything in bold? What the fuck?
Because
We
the
need
diddly
you to
is in bold. I should not
we
say it
need
like
you
that.
to be aware of the fact that we are serious.
Oh my gosh! On the left, the things are just Christmas colors. I'm sorry. Anyways, statues. Oh, we actually get to see their statues and what they believe in. That would probably be important, wouldn't it?
Name and status.
Right. Right. Alright, so Article 1, Name and Status. The Manna Charitable Foundation, also called MCF or merely the Charitable, is a not-for-profit association dedicated to humanitarian assistance in all its facets and fulfilling health and prevention, infrastructure and development, training and research, rescue and intervention, and logistics missions and programs, wherever and whenever they are necessary, organized in accordance with UNOCHA regulations and lawful restrictions in all countries its personnel may operate. Why do they have to use "and" so many damn times? I'm sorry.
Because
Solely to fuck with you in particular.
Oh boy, this is gonna be great.
honestly, that's just how some people write. I mean, it's not grammatically incorrect, but it is annoying.
Yeah. Alright, Article 2, Headquarters. There will exist no headquarters that may act as a single centralized office for the Manna Charitable Foundation. Instead, 5 continental head offices have been created: Toronto, Canada, as the American headquarters, Barcelona, Spain, as the European headquarters, Hong Kong, China, as the Asian headquarters, Canberra, Australia, as the Oceanian headquarters, and Johannesburg, South Africa, as the African headquarters. These sites will gather and distribute local resources, donations, and volunteers to address needs in an assigned area of operations as they become manifest.
Just so you know, I'm pretty sure that's Johannesburg.
Johannesburg.
I feel like a few of the locations they picked as main headquarters in different continents are slightly places that don't always get along with other countries nearby. But
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Alright, now the important part. The goals. Article 3, Goals. As stated in the Grand Charter of the Manna Charitable Foundation and rubricated by the Founding Council, this foundation swears to provide assistance to those dire need due to conflict, natural disaster, environmental decay, supernatural harm, or other events of calamitous effect on human life, such means of subsistence in existing or future societies, until such a time when these services are neither required nor necessary.
By the way, that's calamitous.
Got it. Those members joining our ranks shall provide assistance to any human being that requires it to the best of their capacities, with the utmost dedication and no restriction on the resources that may use to fulfill this duty, including the usage of abnormalities in all their varied aspects. For as long as they are a part of this foundation, they will do so without any consideration of gender, race, ideology, religion, social status, or abnormality in those they assist. Okay, well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
All members of the Manna Charitable Foundation accept the Grand Charter as the core of our collective enterprise in the distilled form of its ambitions, therefore embracing its final goal as their own. That is, we as an association swear to heal the world and its denizens. Alright. Article 4, Activities. 1. The Managed Charitable Foundation will perform any and all activities that further its goals as related to the Grand Charter, with regards to missions and programs elaborated by its boards. 2. However, the Managed Charitable Foundations do not resort to violent means of interaction with human beings, nor will ever sanction such interactions when undertaken by its members. 3. The Managed Charitable Foundation may resort to abnormal assets in multiple forms, be it using esotericism. Say that right? Because I almost said esoterrorism.
Esoterrorism. Yeah, esoterrorism.
Esoterrorism. Alter scientific techniques and or combinations thereof with normal assets, for as long as doing so does not cause greater harm than the absence of their use to its members, the world, or its denizens. 4. Managed Charitable Foundation may research, bear witness, and emit impartial denounces of useful information for all the world to hear. 5. The Managed Charitable Foundation will ensure compliance by its members with the principles outlined in the Grand Charter. This compliance may be enforced by associated or regulating organizations to whom MCF members may be made accountable by the laws of those countries and societies where they operate. 6. The Managed Charitable Foundation will be legally responsible for the activities of many associated institutes, organizations, work groups, and free agents, and any and all activities performed by them that adhere to the Grand Charter will be considered adequate and protected to the best of the MCF's power. 7. The Managed Charitable Foundation will ensure transparency to all its donors when possible and its most trusted benefactors as they require it. 8. The Managed Charitable Foundation will ensure the longest period of survival possible for the world and its denizens, and if feasible, their perpetuation or their transplantation to other safer locations.
It sounds like a really nice group so far.
Yeah.
SCP-514, Spoon of Evil. Well,
Wait, what?
That's the author.
Oh.
It's finding that funny.
Testimonies. Wait, are the testimonies different newsletters written by the foundation?
Maybe.
The Mana Charitable Foundation?
Well, I also have ongoing work, where SCPs are. I'm curious what 514 is.
I guess read 514.
Alright. SCP-514 is a flock of Columba via domestica, or homing pigeons. Visual analysis confirms that these pigeons are in fact the kind used in white dove release ceremonies. However, the type of ceremony they were used in, or the identity of who bred these doves, is currently unknown.
Did you just say doves?
I meant doves. I say doves.
She did call them doves. She should have said doves, but she said doves.
I find that so funny because I've been playing a lot of Skyrim, and dove is the term in dragon tongue for a dragon. So you just said we have no idea who bred these dragons. Hence why the player character is also called the Dovahkiin, or Dragonkin.
Alright. What makes SCP-514 unusual is the weapon and aggression nullification zone of influence. It seems to project around itself. This zone of influence projects itself in a roughly 500-meter radius around the flock, though this estimation varies depending on the flock's size. This zone of influence renders every known type of weapon inoperable and often destroys affected weapons after prolonged exposure. For instance, firearms will immediately jam or misfire, explosives will be rendered inert, and melee weapons will decay into dust. I almost said rust. They will decay into
Decay into rust.
Dust makes more sense.
yeah. Also, the items 514's zone of influence destroys appear to be selective. In addition to its weapon nullification ability, 514 can also somehow suppress violent emotions and intent in sentient beings within the zone of influence. Interviews with staff and civilians who have been exposed to the zone of influence said that they felt very calm and content, even when they felt stressed and angry just moments before. Currently, there appears to be no harmful or lasting effects to being exposed at 514's zone of influence. Rigorous physical and psychological screening of individuals exposed to the zone of influence showed nothing out of the ordinary. 514 was first discovered when numerous reports of weapon stockpiles were reported as having been destroyed in numerous African nations. While initial reports were written off as poor maintenance on the part of the owners of the weapons, additional reports of sightings of a flock of homing pigeons, which are uncommon in Africa, garnered Foundation interest. An investigation team was sent to track down 514, where they encountered a team claiming to be affiliated with the Mana Charitable Foundation, who were also tracking it. The MCF members admitted they released 514 in an effort to end all conflict in Africa. Despite not having a reliable way to control its movements. Unfortunately, the MCF was apparently unaware that 514's aggression suppression effects were only temporary once affected subjects were no longer within its zone of influence, and they would resume hostilities with improvised or primitive weaponry once 514 left. In addition, 514's random movements caused only certain regions to be disarmed, leaving them vulnerable to invasion by their unaffected neighbors. Oh boy. It took another 3 weeks before MTF Lambada 4 were able to bring the Redacted to control 514's movements. The MCF members were then challenged the Foundation's team for possession of both 514 and the Redacted. Since both parties were still under 514's effects, the conflict was resolved through a single round of rock, paper, scissors. The Foundation... with the Foundation being the victor. The MCF members then fled the area before they could be further questioned. The origin of 514 and how it came into the possession of the MCF remains unknown.
I'm starting to think that Hatchet was right, and we need to put this group in incompetent good.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very least, as far as the SCPs are concerned, because like, as an organization,
that was definitely the suggestion. They accidentally killed a lot of people in Africa.
yeah,
There's some logs left, as well as some addendums. So I'm not sure if something different happened.
well, I mean, I doubt that there's, I doubt that there's much of anything else we need to glean from it for the purposes of the stream. But if you want to read it, go ahead.
I have to read this. Addendum 3. As of redacted 2000 redacted, all members of Mobile Task Force on the bottom 4 are required to be proficient in various non-violent competitive activities, including but not limited to sports, board games, card games, video games, trivia, riddles, and rock paper scissors. Are you are you serious? The fate of one of our SCPs could be decided on the outcome of rock paper scissors. 05 redacted.
You know what? That's a fair point.
I assure you, sir, you have nothing to fear. We are dead serious about these matters. Captain Redacted, Mobile Task Force of the bottom 4 bird watchers. Note, Captain, couldn't you have chosen a more dignified game as your primary conflict resolution method? Seeing two grown men in all black tactical gear taking a children's card game so seriously is off-putting. 0511. Like the 05 is just looking at this like, the fuck?
Well, they gotta do what they gotta do.
So we basically know where to put this now?
Well, I mean, this is one incident.
So we probably should read another SCP.
Yeah, let's try reading another. This is the sort of situation where I feel like stories would probably be more accurate in helping us, but we probably don't have time to read a bunch of stories.
Yeah. Alright, this one's short, so.
Yeah.
SCP-1135 is an isolated village in the state of Redacted, India. The village was attributed the name of Redacted prior to its acquisition by the Foundation and contains approximately redacted houses, as well as several places of commerce and a Hindu temple. The structure of the buildings is unusual for the region, as they are larger and built with far more technologically advanced materials than other villages in the area. All buildings are fully equipped with running hot and cold water, electricity, and sewerage, again, unusual for the area. It is unknown how the homes receive electricity, as they are not connected to any form of generator, and this is considered to be an effect of 1135. In addition, the roads in the village, and for 2 kilometers around the village, are also fully paved with asphalt concrete. Alright, investigation of the building materials reveals strands of organic fiber running through all the buildings, and any permanent fixtures in the village not introduced by an outside force. The fibers do not ever appear to compromise the integrity of any structures. These organic fibers extend up to 3 meters below ground and form a network under the village. These fibers grow, repair themselves, and appear to absorb nutrients from the soil. As such, 1135 is considered a single living organism with certain similarities to fungi. The fibers of 1135 appear to be able to generate a wide variety of organic and non-organic materials around themselves, allowing them to generate the structures found within the village. This allows the structures to repair themselves, and periodically, new buildings grow organically from the soil, maintaining structural integrity at all times during this process. Similarly, when space is limited, some structures will appear to collapse and disintegrate, the fibers within atrophy. 1135 appears to require some form of sustenance to survive, as well as absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. The organism appears to consume waste left within the boundaries of the village. Waste of all varieties left in the area affected by 1135 begins to deteriorate and decompose at an extremely accelerated rate. This produces no odor and typically leaves no remains. This process does not affect living organic tissue, soil, or any object being used in some way by those within 1135. It is believed that 1135 converts these materials into nutrients for itself through an unknown process. If so, it is unknown how 1135 differentiates between waste and other matter. If 1135 goes for long periods without feeding, it will destroy structures possibly in order to render them down for sustenance. Likewise, if 1135 has been able to consume large amounts of waste, also to construct new buildings and improve existing ones at an increased rate. If humans or animals cause substantial or repetitive damage to structures formed by 1135, the organism will begin to construct elaborate traps in order to injure, drive off, or kill attackers. These range from simple pitfalls to caltrops to elaborate traps, which would indicate complex intelligence in a human. These traps will, if not triggered, disappear within a period of 20 to 30 days. Outside of these circumstances, 1135 is never hostile or dangerous to human life. Additionally, 1135 appears to be able to differentiate between damage caused indirectly or directly by living organisms and damage caused by other forces. These findings suggest that 1135 may possess some form of intelligence, but this is unproven. 1135-1, 1135 was discovered on Redacted after a reporter investigating aid efforts in the area recorded interviews with local residents claiming that buildings grew overnight. 1135 had an estimated population of Redacted at the time of its discovery by Foundation operatives. Residents interviewed reported that the village had possessed anomalous properties for Redacted years prior to the Foundation's intervention. After the village had been the site of a sustainable housing development scheme orchestrated by an organization by the name of the Mana Charitable Foundation. The Mana Charitable Foundation is apparently fictitious, and no attempts to identify those involved in the scheme have been successful.
Huh?
That
seems inaccurate.
Yeah.
It's probably just a frustrated Foundation's interpretation of the group.
Yeah. All residents of 1135 were expelled and administered Class A or Class B amnestics, depending on how long they lived in the village. All aid schemes in the areas since have been monitored by the Foundation, although no other anomalies or any further information regarding the Mana Charitable Foundation has since come to light. Addendum 1135-2. Following a routine observational expedition carried out on Redacted, several buildings appear to have developed security cameras on their outer walls and in certain indoor areas of the village buildings. These cameras have been observed to track waste disposal and research teams as they move through the village, and to conduct periodic sweeps of the village when undisturbed. Requested to dismantle one of the cameras for research purposes are currently pending approval by Dr. Redacted. So, it looks like they're trying to do good, but
They're trying, but not very successful at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with this. Like, this place, like, say you accidentally damage it, this place is gonna try to get rid of you.
Yeah.
Like, think of kids. They're gonna accidentally destroy stuff. This thing is not gonna like kids.
Kids always do things like that because they're kids.
Right. Oh, I forgot. Wait, the Mana Charitable Foundation on here? Yes, they are. Some quotes. Alright. This actually might help out too. Alright, from SCP-1501. Helping out the homeless is the most important cause a wealthy citizen such as yourself can donate to. After all, what if it was you stuck on the streets, eating nothing but garbage and depravity? This is what the homeless in Chicago go through every day. Imagine having to crawl on your belly through a whole load of waste material just to eat a single beet. This is what real life is like. The fuck?
What?
What?
I'm sorry, but none of the homeless my family has ever been friends with never had to crawl on their belly to eat a beet. What the fuck is even what?
I don't know.
I feel like my brain is broken.
Alright, the 15th anomalous donation. Things are a little rough here, but we were able to set up shop in an abandoned medical college. There's a lot to do today, so this bulletin will be brief, but I just want to let you know that we're focusing on recovery, medical aid, and I assigned a few crews to restore down power lines. From the Huh?
I was going to say, that sounds good because of all the mistakes they made, that actually sounds good for once.
Yeah. From best as it gets, the way it came out was miraculous. Last month, it was an empty lot, with MCF operatives handing out food and clean water and offering medical services. The operatives were still there, working out a fully functioning concrete building, lights, air conditioning, everything working perfectly. A fully built hospital in the middle of a Somali refugee camp should have been a beacon for masses of humanity, writhing and shuffling and pushing one another as they sought desperately needed aid. A beacon for hope and humanity. So why was it fucking empty? Oh.
Oh.
I don't know, bud. So, do we still need to see more, or?
I think we're good.
Incompetent good.
No, as in, yeah, incompetent good, yeah.
That's what I
I
was
meant
thinking.
we're good
Like,
as
they're
in, like,
trying.
we have the knowledge.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
this is their gold star for trying.
I'm gonna put them
You
in front
tried.
of.
We're giving you the crayons.
I'm putting them in front of the Church of Broken God, because Church of Broken God still did some even worse shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be fair, here's the biggest thing. This is SCP, so it's obviously going to hard focus on the anomalous stuff. But outside of that, they also have non-anomalous stuff that's just acting as a proper charitable aid organization.
Alright. Here's
So
the.
like
Oh, sorry.
to me, I feel like the assumption is that they're incompetent good when it comes to anomalies, but otherwise they would probably be in neutral or lawful good.
Yeah. Alright, here's the one thing. This one is not gonna leave the evil groups.
Oh, yeah, no.
I will say a
Yeah, I
quick
think we
story.
already know where they fall, right?
Yeah, I know a
Lawful
quick
evil.
story. I'm gonna read this one. I don't have it with me, but I know it by heart. There was this one girl who did multiple casinos within Marshall Carter's domain, and went and when Marshall Carter and Dark challenged her herself, she lost badly and could not pay it back, which pissed them off. So they said, in exchange for the money you owe us, we will force you to be this doll for so years. I forgot what years. And here's the thing: she can see everything, and like her mind is still there, but she can't move, speak, or do anything. And anyone can do whatever they want with her body because they sold her.
Yeah, yeah.
They're still lawful evil. They're just not ones you want to piss off. I'm not sure how else to say
They
that.
might be worse, Jerry.
Well, aren't they a like we've been putting like profit-based organizations into neutral evil.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
'Cause-
like lawful would be good in this case because they do follow very strict rules that are of their own making and not ones that would be following a country's laws, but they are still their own strict rules.
Okay, so they do have their own strict rules. Okay.
Yeah. So here,
Then yeah, I guess let's read.
yeah. All right. So Marsh Carter and Dark. Overview: a club based in London, England, catering to the super rich and with extensive political and financial ties worldwide. This group has caused extensive problems for the Foundation. Marshall Carter and Dark Limited is known for collecting rare and obscure items, along with providing its members the most exclusive, expensive, and rare experiences available. That's one way to say it. These activities were resulted in conflict with the Foundation on numerous occasions. The group is not known For the use of force, they prefer to apply extreme financial and political pressure to achieve their goals. When forced to use more direct means, Marshall Carter and Dark Limited employs outside agents, and it is very difficult to connect said agents to the organization. Marshall Carter and Dark Limited has caused several SCP containment breaches primarily through the use of money or social pressure. Severe reports, records, and even items have been leaked by Foundation personnel who have been approached by large amounts of money or threats of extensive jail time or torture. Notably, 2 containment sites were almost brought to public attention after the Foundation refused access to members of Marshall Carter and Dark Limited. Information pertaining to Marshall Carter and Dark Limited, such as the name of the director or even a list of members, has proven very difficult to acquire. Agents encountering members of this group are advised to maintain a cover story and not, for any reason, reveal Foundation ties or SCP information. So these guys are actively attacking the Foundation.
Only when the Foundation is in their way. But yes, when the Foundation's in their way, they will attack. This is literally what we were just talking about anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And yes, the Foundation will get in their way because the Foundation's neutral, not evil. It wants to try to help keep the universe safe. Marshall Carter and yeah, Marshall Carter and Dark does not want to keep the world safe. They want money. Obviously, the two groups are going to clash.
Yeah.
So, I'm
Marshall Carter and Dark's wish is the Foundation cared more about money, but it doesn't.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm not sure if this is a message from Marshall Carter and Dark or something else. Right here. But it does mention
I would
some
like to
information.
read it.
You want to read it? Okay.
Yes. Because honestly, that sounds like the first line reminds me of something a mobster might say.
Oh wait, Marshall Carter and Dark is gay.
What?
Because look at this. This has rainbow in their logo up
Oh.
here.
Now I don't even know what fucking voice to do.
I'm joking.
I was
They're
gonna
probably
try
not
to do
gay.
a really bad mafia voice, and I'm like, wait, what voice do I do?
They're probably not gay. I'm just making a joke. Wait, who knows?
Okay. Why do rich people care about making money? The poor certainly need to take care about doing so. When one's resources are only enough to scrape by, money's all that matters. It's important for the middle class as well. Looking after their spouses, their children, there's a cultural dependence that weighs them down. The rich want to make money because they can always become richer. There's always another echelon for the wealth to rise above, some degree of opulence that's beyond their grasp. They drive to even further heights, seeking to slake their thirst of coin. They care about making. What's slake?
A type of snake.
Like,
I'm sorry.
what? It's SLAKE. I mean, SLAKE. So,
Writes being a dingus.
Yes.
okay. They care about making money simply because they can. To do so, the rich exploit people far below them on the social ladder, the poorest of the poor. To oil magnate, I mean, wait, the oil magnate. Yeah, that's what it says. To the harsh dictator, to the kings and queens and lords and ladies, the common people are specks of dirt. To Marshall Carter and Dark, the rich people are, to Marshall Carter and Dark, the rich are unto ants. Oh, that's harsh. People, regardless of social standing, are all the same. The poor may spend their savings on worthless yet treasured trinkets, sold by middle class. The salary man may splurge on a pretty ring for his wife, the profits in which go into the pockets of a wealthy mining boss. In the same way, the gullible rich people will burn millions of dollars on a single impossible object. Everyone is willing to waste their precious money on something out of the ordinary. But value is artificial. The poor spend their pennies on mass produced china, convinced that it has some worth to it. The rich convince the middle class that diamonds are rare and valuable, despite the stones being retrieved in Africa by the billion. Marshall, Carter, and Dark convince the rich that the impossible is invaluable, while ana- okay, well any anarchist on the street can twist a die into a hypercube. The methodology of such a scheme is quite simple, but the critical step is to gain a market monopoly. If you are the only seller in town, you can set the price at any level you desire, as long as you can drum up the demand. In this regard, Marshall, Carter, and Dark have the advantage. Hundreds of years, they were the only peddlers of anomalous wares in the world. They had the time to gain the capital, and with the capital, they can now outprice even the most competitive upstart. While organizations such as the Foundation, the GOP, and the Horizon Initiative resent the company's existence, they are unable to deal with such an unassailable economic powerhouse. With a glance, Marshall, Carter, and Dark could level a city, bankrupt a country with a single call. They could plunge the plane into thermonuclear war. Yet the eternal relief of all, they are the least volatile players in the anomalous field. After all, the veil of if the veil of secrecy were to break, their trinkets would become worthless. Their business would crumble and dissolve. While this may cause some to think of Marshall, Carter, and Dark as a massive faceless corporation, their workforce numbers at most in the order of 100 personnel. Their operations are directed and streamlined, maximizing efficiency and minimizing cost. Further manpower, if necessary, is outsourced from other organizations. Those in the highest positions of power are perhaps the most mysterious. Wild stories abound on the subject, depending on the source. They may be ghosts or demons, old men sending messages from beyond the grave, faceless monsters from another world, or even shape shifting lizard men. Another part of their operations is establishing supply lines between various anomalous groups. Marshall, Carter, and Dark purchase directly from groups such as Dr. Wondertainment and the Factory, reselling their goods at exorbitant markups. Prometheus Labs gladly supply the group with their latest research. In exchange for samples of exotic and complex anomalies, they often host inert exhibitions, exerting notable control of the artistic marketplace. Similarly, they host various social functions for the most rich and powerful people in the world. With hooks throughout Europe, America, Russia, and China, there is never trouble finding a market for a given item. They are, of course, willing to sell to any buyer. Groups such as Chaos Insurgency are some of their most valuable clients. Perhaps the organization most opposed to Marshall, Carter, and Dark are the Mana Charitable Foundation and the Serpent's Hand. Mana Charitable often attempts to sabotage their operations due to their restrictions of anomalous goods to the upper class. However, their limited range and resources make them more irritating than threatening. The Serpent's Hand, meanwhile, are directly and openly antagonistic. caring neither for the veil of secrecy or the company continuing practice of anomalous human trafficking and impossible to economically um, yeah, intimidate. They represent the only pers- they represent the only pervasive threat to the group's operations. Without question, Marshall, Carter, and Dark are one of the most important pieces on the chessboard in the anomalous world, occasionally putting other players into check, but never the up to mate. For Marshall, Carter, and Dark, the planet is an intricate network they have secured safely beneath their thumb, where winning and losing are meaningless terms. There's no need to move pieces when you can move the board. When you can end the match at any time, there's only one reason to continue. It's all about playing the game. Man, I love how
Wow.
even Marshall, Carter, and Dark calls the Mono Foundation useless.
Yeah, I find funny how the only organization they see as a threat is the Serpent's Hand.
Ah, goddamn.
Yeah. Like, they didn't even mention the Foundation. There's like, nope, just a Serpent's Hand.
Serpent's hand stays winning.
So yeah, we pretty much already understand where it's gonna go, right? Before we read this.
Yeah,
I guess
just liked
again, like
reading that.
Huh?
I guess again, like I'm just like if their only goal is to make money, how much of a like strong internal uh rule set do they have?
Uh,
Is my question.
Well, we've seen like multiple SCPs that referred to Marshall, Carter, and Dark. And it's really suggestive that they have strong rules. It's just strong rules for their group to follow.
Hmm.
Basically, if you sign a contract, you have signed the contract. If
yeah, like I
you made a
mentioned earlier with
promise
that
to
girl.
them, hmm?
Like I mentioned earlier with that girl who got really fucked up.
Yeah. Also, if you steal from them, they'll fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but like, does that indicate like an actual law system within themselves, or them just acting like a mafia?
Hmm. I
When I
think
was,
they
huh?
Oh, I was gonna say, I think it shows they have a strong law system, especially since
Yeah.
we don't hear about them stealing from other people, which is
Hmm.
weird. I mean, they're an evil organization, but technically, they only take what's theirs.
What I kind of see them is like the group that controls the economic sense of selling anomalies. Like all the selling anomalies, it seems to be mainly going through them most of the time. That's what I'm seeing in this. Well, like reading
Yeah.
about them. So, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Hmm. I'd be willing to put lawful evil if that's what y'all are dead set on.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm just very convinced they're lawful evil. I mean, it still makes them evil, but
Oh, we didn't even
But
come over here for the quotes. I keep forgetting to do that.
okay. Does anyone want to read the quotes about Marshall, Carter, and Dark? Oh my gosh, I just noticed their ball is like a money guy
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
eh,
monocle.
I'll read them. Alright. From Marshall Carter and Dark Hub. Oh, well, you just read that, so never mind. From 2987, sacrificing human soul is hard work. Those with experience will tell you it's never as easy as you think it's going to be. Maybe you need an innocent soul, but you can't bring yourself to kill a child. Maybe you need to sacrifice a warrior, but you don't want to lose people bringing him in. Marshall Connor and Dark understands your difficulties. That's why we've started to develop artificial souls like this one. Oh. Oh god, Camp Granada. I know what Camp Granada is. It's where one of the things the O5 did to test Abel and Iris working at MTF was release the zombie virus. Well, an enhanced version of it.
Oh.
I would not be
Great.
surprised if Marshall Carter and Dark's involved in it. Dear Sir or Madam, Marshall Carter and Dark sincerely regrets the unfortunate death of your child during the recent events at our Happy Acres Youth Camp. The loss of a loved one is never easy, even when anticipated, but it's harder still when they are taken from us far too soon. We offer our sincere condolences and deepest sympathy on our loss. May an outpouring of sympathy and the kind acts of friends and strangers and the comforts in knowing that your loss is felt by many help you through this difficult time. As a gesture of support, we are refunding all fees charged to you for your recent stay at our Diamond Mountain Resort in the form of a certificate of store credit. Oh, wow, fuck you. You just lost your child. Here, have some store credit.
Man, that's lawful, but also evil, and I'm not sure what else to say.
Yeah, also, for those who don't know what the modified zombie virus did, eventually when you're infected by the zombie virus, you would die. It's inevitable. But with the modified zombie virus, instead of getting to the point you die, you produce a clone of yourself as infected. And it would keep going as more food they get.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, the Foundation made that. Well,
Hmm.
specifically in 05, which then became the head of Chaos and Searching, which makes sense. But anyways, SCP lore done. Oh, why did
Are you okay?
I did something stupid. I accidentally closed.
It's okay. We all do stupid things.
I don't know why I did that. Alright. Let me open that just in case. Alright, so the next. Alright, so we know it goes unlawful evil.
I feel like lawful evil can be some of the most evil, impartial assholes ever.
Yeah.
But this is Marshall Carter and Dark, so
Yeah. Alright. Alright. So the next one. Okay, so they don't have quotes, so I don't have to worry about that. Is the Medicean Academy of Occult Art. I'm guessing another college.
I mean, I would imagine, considering there's the word academy in it.
I like the logo icon, that logo icon or whatever you call it.
I've never heard of them. Overview.
Same.
One of the most ancient and renowned academic institutions of the anomalous world, the Medicean Academy of Occult Art, in Italian, Medicia Accademia dell'Arte Occultia, man, they're assholes, is a GOI based in Florence, Italy. Founded in the late 15th century by Lorenzo di Medici, Lord of Florence and patron of arts during the Renaissance, the Academy is able to spread its influence across most nations of Europe in the courts of the Old Continent. The activities promoted by the Academy included teaching art techniques and recollection of old anomalous artifacts from ancient culture. From the mid 18th century, after going through a brief period of decadence, the Academy was able to recover and create new branches in new countries across new continents. The institution oriented its activity towards the recovery and restoration of artistical items, developing a particular taste for the arts. This led to hostile relations with AWCY movement, which is considered the main rival of the Academy. All of this information is sourced from the official archives of the Italian branch of the Foundation. For additional material, contact one of their offices. To
Yeah,
see how doc.
AWCYs are we cool yet?
Oh,
It's the artist group.
they're artists, so I do not suspect this will be evil, but maybe they'll surprise us.
Oh, they actually have a general historical summary.
Hey.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll actually probably see it then. Alright. Hatchet, do you want to read this one since me and Jerry both read one?
I'm not
You can
feeling
do a
very.
pompous voice.
I'm not really feeling up to reading.
Alright, then I got it. Alright. The general historical summary. The Medicean Academy of Occult Art was officially established on July 16th, 1484. Creation of the institution of novels had been attempted by Cosimo di Giovanni de Medici Vecchio the Old during the works of the Council of Florence in 1439.
This might answer your question. 39 is a drama show starring.
Jeez, what the hell?
What was that?
Oh, Bright muted. The fuck?
Bright, we can't hear you if you're muted.
Someone used an echo and they didn't disconnect mine, so it went through mine as well.
Oh.
Oh no.
Anyways, this was possible thanks to Papal Bull by Pope Sixtus the Fourth. That's the fourth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Which gave to the Lord of Florence, Lorenzo de Medici, the permission to found an institute that deals with training the most talented young artists in Italy and making their work enjoyable and useful for all able men who are aware of occult matters. The institute was born as a school for training artists, but in the hands of the Medici family, it also became a formidable vector of diplomatic promotion for the Florentine state. The academy remained property of the Medici family, excluding the Republican period between the death of Lorenzo and the rise of Alessandro de Medici, known as El Moro, the Moor. During this period, the academy underwent a rapid decline due to lack of interest of Lorenzo's successor, Piero de Medici, and due to the action of Predicator Girolamo Savonarola's supporters. Once the latter fell, the remaining members of the academy placed themselves under the protection of the municipality led by the Gonfalonieri di Giustizia, Pier Soderini, who had already given asylum to many members. Jesus Christ, I suck at reading Italian names. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised you're not going with a pompous sound for everything.
Following its fates and fortunes, some perils threatened its existence, such as an attempt of the Grand Duke Cosimo III to sell it to the King of France, Louis XVI. Or
Let's see,
15th.
where are we? Where are we? Where's your cursor?
Right there.
Right there. That is the 14th.
14th. Okay, thank you.
France, Louis. Sell it to the King of France, Louis the 14th. Isn't that? That's the great grandfather of the last Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did I say great grandfather or grandfather? Grandfather
Oh.
is the grandfather of him.
Gotcha. Yeah. This was thought in order to be able to meet the expenses of his daughter's dowry. She named Anna Maria Louisa to be the last representative of the family to hold absolute power over the academy through the so-called family pact. She favored its independence from the princes of Austria-Lorraine, making it impossible to take out the capital and estate of Grand Duchy, galleries, pictures, statues, libraries, jewels, and other precious things from the succession of the most serene Grand Duke, so that they would remain for the ornament of the state, for the benefit of the public, and to attract the curiosity of foreigners. Since the Academy has slightly changed its face, no longer at the service of the Medici princes, it started an activity that would define it as a museum and a recovery of past art according to the principles of the Enlightenment. This also started a wide diffusion of the Academy, not only to other non-Catholic European countries, but also in the rest of the world, reaching the continents of Asia and America. With the birth of the Italian state under Savoy leadership, the Academy, which until then had shown mild support of the Risorgimento cause, arose itself as a reference institution in dealing with the occult for the new Italian state, with its capital now located in Florence. The Academy provided support to the activity of the Royal Institute of the Unification of Italy. However, with the conquest of Rome in 1871 and the formation of the Royal Institute of Italian Anomalies, the priorities of the crown no longer coincided with those of the Academy. Despite this brief moment of crisis, the Academy did not end up being absorbed by the Royal Institute. This was possible thanks to the donations made by the European aristocracy and rich American bourgeoisie. Nonetheless, the Belle Epoque years were certainly among the most prolific and fruitful in the history of the Academy, despite the appearance of new enemies over the horizon. The dual situation imposed on Europe during the Great War and its consequences led by the European branches to a contraction of their strength and capacity of action. Conversely, the branches in the Americas enjoyed a great deal of success, albeit within the limits imposed by the circumstances. During the Second World War, the Academy managed to save itself from the fury of the conflict, even if many structures were looted by German occult units. Nevertheless, thanks to good relations with both the SCP Foundation and the Global Occult Coalition, the Academy was able to recover most of the stolen works. Internal organization. Due to the extinction of the Medici Grand Ducal line in 1743, the need to reorganize some positions within the Academy became evident. The Academy went from a subordinate institute meshed within the mechanisms of the old Tuscan state to a free and private institution. At the top needed to be placed a figure of prestige, the possibility for the tutor of Florence, the most important among all the tutors to become head of the organization, was stopped by the direct intervention of Anna Maria Louisa. In her will, she decided that the person to inherit the position of supreme head was going to be the representative in charge of looking after the relations between the Institute and the Grand Dukes, formerly known as Curator Hereditatis, established by the Duke of Florence and then the first Grand Duke of Tuscany Cosimo I. Di Machini. The new invested role within the new powers was consequently renamed Curator Academe. Other positions that emerged did not change much compared to those of the past. In order, these are Curator, head of the organization in charge of managing the general finances of the institution in relations with the outside world. Despite this last assignment, he never reveals himself during official events, neither within the Academy nor with representatives of other groups. The office is elective, but neither the duration of the mandate nor the modalities with which it is granted are known. It is assumed that it's elected through an internal vote by all the tutors of the Academy. Tutors, representatives of each branch. The tutors manage the internal activities of each venue and also partly coordinate relations with the outside world when allowed. The office is elective and has variable duration, always chosen by cooperation from a group of names that have distinguished themselves within the Academy for merits and contributions offered to the world of art. Supervisors. Supervisors are generally experts in a specific area of competence and hold some decisional power over assistants' work. They maintain a certain transversality and are not to be considered as mere bureaucratic executors of the will of the tutors, but as deserving and honorable members worthy of being heard for their opinion. Assistants. All members of the organization, whether involved into restorations or conservation or relations with the public, are called assistants and are the beating heart of the Academy and its activities. So far, I'm not hearing a bad thing from them.
Yeah.
They're pretentious, but they don't seem bad in any way.
They only
So
have
it does,
two
it does
SCPs.
sound like at one point in history they were stolen from by the Mustache Party.
Looks like they're just trying to restore lost anomalous art, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And craft art. And learn about old art and anomalous art.
So yeah, basically, are we cool yet? But not as bad. So Are we cool yet tries to create anomalous art, but not in the best light.
Why don't we look at one of the anomalous items before? Just one of them, and then we
There's
can...
only two.
Oh! We can briefly look over one of them, and then we can, like, judge it from... Oh! That's a pretty statue.
Oh, there's multiple descriptions. That's great.
You know, why don't we look at the other SCP instead and see if that's shorter?
Oh, yay.
Okay, let's go. Is it shorter?
No.
Oh. So they're both long as fuck. They're both long!
I think this one's bad.
It's a super pretentious Enlightenment era college. What do you expect?
Okay, that's fair.
Alright, so here we go. Alright, description. SCP-4505 is the collective destination for 265 safe-class anomalous artworks created between the 14th and 17th century as part of the cultural movement known as the Renaissance. Okay. The original 130 pieces were previously listed as individual SCP objects until their eventual consolidation and subdestination under the parent number of 4505. As part of the SEK Object Class Initiative in 1914, additional works have been acquired and added to the collection in subsequent years. The collection is available as an educational resource for Foundation employees. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
The following is a truncated list of artifacts consolidated Stated under 4505, staff members involved in the containment of any 4505 item must familiarize themselves with the entire collection before beginning work. Note that items are numbered in order of acquisition, not creation. Alright, so Pieta. Artist Tondino, year 1623. Alright, description. Intimate marble sculpture depicting the Madonna weeping over the deceased Christ inspired by Michelangelo's sculpture of the same name. Tondino's piece diverges from the original by posing the Madonna knelt over her prone son. The figures are non-sentient and unresponsive to stimuli. The Madonna shakes her son and pantomimes sobs, but produces no sound. The deceased Christ is not independently animate, and makes no movements other than those instigated by the Madonna's physical interactions. Both figures feature realistic anatomy, visually emulating the elasticity and malleability of soft tissue within the context of the piece's internal action. However, physical contact from external sources will interact with the figures as solid marble. Several historical records pertaining to the piece describe an incident wherein a child's fingers were severed after playfully inserting them into Madonna's mouth. These accounts are supported by recent internal imaging of the Madonna's stomach, which has revealed the presence of 11 fingers with no fewer than 3 different parties, as well as a large amount of coinage in various denominations. God damn
I'm
it.
going to, chop that up to less of it being dangerous and just being stupid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just kids.
Like, oh, this thing you shouldn't even be touching, let me fingers. Let me throw money in it. That'll be good luck. Ugh.
Yeah. Alright, The Judgment of the Unrighteous. Artist unknown, year 1434. Description. Bronze door with a sculpted relief panels depicting various scenes in hell as described by Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy. Anomalous phenomena occur when it is viewed by a person who has recently committed an act deemed sinful by the 15th century Catholic doctrine. Well, I would say shit.
That's gotta be a lot of very mundane things for us.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw some hentai. Oh, that's a weird looking painting. Subjects who meet the above criteria will experience a cognitive hazard-induced hallucination, wherein they are surrounded by indistinct red-hooded figures. These figures are often observed holding and consuming the severed heads of cephalophoric saints. Effects subside entirely within 20 to 30 minutes. So it doesn't hurt them, it just makes them see shit.
Okay. That's less concerning, at least.
Alright, Cardinal de Monte, artist unknown, here 1554. Description: life-size oil portrait on canvas with accompanied section of wall. The painting depicts Inocenzo Sciascenci de Monte, adopted nephew and possible lover of Pope Julius III. The painting was removed from Papal Palace multiple times after the death of Julius III in 1555, but always reappeared in the same place the following day. Attempts to destroy the piece were similarly undone. After several weeks' effort, it was decided that the entire section of the wall where the painting hung was to be detached from the building and removed from the premises.
Okay.
The painting just wanted to be on that wall. The Elation of St. Paul. Description: oil on panel. The painting features an anomalous chiaroscuro effect, which causes the lighting of the scene to change over a 24-hour period, with the movement of the sun, moon, and stars progressing in real time. Oh, I would love to see that. The rest of the scene, which is otherwise static, features Paul and the Apostle standing before a crowd of what is presumably supposedly the artist's interpretation of a Jewish synagogue. All figures are dressed in Italian formal wear common to the period. Paul is posed as though preaching to the assembly, albeit with a thick stream of honey pouring from his mouth. The heads of doves protrude from where his eyes would normally be found, and his fingers expel a milky substance which pools beneath them. Several bystanders are gathered around a puddle, using their hands to drink. Several sources suggest that the surreal imagery corresponds to Paul's martyrdom is described in the Golden Legend. Oh. Title: Lorenzo di Mancini. Artist unknown. Year 1502. Description: an oil painting depicting the body of Lorenzo di Mancini in an advanced state of decomposition is one of the earliest known attempts at crafting a fully animate and intelligent reproduction of an existing human within a two-dimensional space. Due to split opinions regarding the sanctity of the piece, it remained out of view in a deep storage at the Venetian Academy of Occult Arts until 1944. During the Second World War, numerous artworks were disguised as traditional pieces and entrusted to the MFAA for protection, with subsequently allowed pieces such as 4505-164 to be discovered and acquired by Foundation resources. Lorenzo allegedly commissioned the painting after he was drawn in by the artist's offers of immortality. The artist, whose identity remains unknown, succeeded in creating a painting likeness of Lorenzo that could hold conversations with viewers and move within the confines of its 126 centimeters by 104 centimeters surface, as if it were a three-dimensional space. However, the depiction of Lorenzo proved to be more lifelike than intended, and perished due to starvation several weeks after the painting was completed. Before its death, it reportedly subsisted on a bowl of fruit, the artist had painting in the foreground, as well as an animate bird painted on a windowsill. Oh, that's just sad.
So if they had wanted to keep him alive, they would have had to have constantly painted food on.
Damn.
Oh. I feel like we're not gonna get much more
Yeah, like, none of
information for
these
the
arts
purpose
are
of
bad.
Why don't we just put it? I mean, I
Oh
think they belong
my.
in good, but I don't know where to put them in good since they aren't incompetent.
I need to read this. Jesus Christ. No.
What?
Title: Trinity of the Red Court. The artist then restricted. Year 1586. Description: oil on canvas. Christ is suspended in a dark void, hanging by the neck from a rope, which extends out of frame. Those who view the painting for a prolonged period of time will gradually notice changes in its content. The effect persists after the viewer has looked away for 10 or more seconds. Changes are consistent among different viewers in viewing sessions that occur in the same sequence. Lacerations appear across the deceased Christ's body. A gesture is added in the lower left corner of the painting, pointing at the deceased Christ. Young children appear behind the gesture, and a long line that extends into the darkness. A hooded figure mounted on a horse is added to the bottom right corner of the painting. The heels on the rider's shoes end in blood-stained spikes. Numerous puncture wounds appear on the side of the horse's body. Heavy chains appear around the hooded figure, binding its arms to his torso. The deceased Christ raises his arms towards the jester and rider. Christ's expression changes to a broad grin. What the fuck?
yeah, okay.
What was this artist thinking? I guess they just really hated Christians.
I mean, there's not much. This is Renaissance art, right? The creator was almost certainly Christian.
Alright.
Yeah, it was likely trying to make a statement, but we wouldn't know the statement. And I
Yeah.
doubt they tried to make it anomalous.
So Hatchet, you said that we actually have enough
Well, no,
information.
well, I was gonna say, well, I was gonna say, no, they intended to make it anomalous. Like this is from an academy based around making anomalous art.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know if I would put this in good
Yeah.
specifically. I I would be leaning more towards like true neutral or lawful neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last painting. Yeah, that
Well, I
sounds
mean,
fair.
that's the thing. Like, even the painting changing isn't a major thing. I'm just trying to think is like, is it an inherently morally good thing to try to preserve anomalous art
Mm.
Well, it's not just preserving anomalous art; it's also
as well as
art.
creating it? Yeah.
It's and learning about art. And I do
Yeah.
think learning and restoring are good things. I do
Hmm.
think art can enrich people's lives. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
some of
I
those are kind of crazy arts, but they're not harming anyone. Besides
Yeah.
the one guy who starved to death because they couldn't paint food on there indefinitely, but
hmm. Then no, yeah. I don't know. I don't quite know what I was thinking. I would hold to the preservation of art to be a good thing. So, how about I think I'd go with neutral good in that
Like,
case.
well, oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Jerry?
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause they're not like,
Now,
are we cool yet? Where they're just releasing art in the world. They're
I
literally
am
storing it.
so glad there's more good there's more people in the good group
Yeah, just look at the good
besides
and
incompetent good. For some reason, that one is more popular than any other good group.
yeah, yeah, just look at the good and neutral. Then look at the chaotic and evil.
yeah, neutral and then down into
Well,
evil.
chaotic can be anywhere, but yeah, the evil area is definitely bigger.
Also, I can't wait until we find an incompetent neutral, whatever the fuck that's gonna mean.
I have no idea what it would look like.
Oh, here's the best.
Perhaps it's nobody.
Right here. Yeah, nobody. Little is currently known about the person, entity, or group known as Nobody. First sighted in 1954, they have a numerous appearances since. Numerous appearances since. There has only been one person seen at any given time, typically described as a male Caucasian, dressed in a gray suit and a fedora. Why am I picturing the fucking, like, what is it called? The guy that tips the fedora? Like that picture? Fuck. Why am I picturing that?
I'll be right back. I really, really, really pee. Like, really need to pee.
Okay.
Yeah, what I'm picturing is like the meme guy, like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
okay, you know what I mean. Got it. Yeah. That's
Happy
what I'm thinking. This nobody's just that guy.
Milady.
Lady.
Milady.
Oh, it looks like my pain's dying down my left jaw.
Hmm,
I think it just needed rest.
that's good. Uh,
Oh, I should probably get rid of that hub.
uh,
We're not even gonna look at.
e aliens.
Oh my gosh, the other thing that's making me think about nobody right here is Odysseus' dumb mistake.
Oh yeah.
That was so stupid. If if he just kept saying his name was Nobody, he would have lived. I mean, well, he did live, but I mean, his crew probably wouldn't have died as much.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
there's apparently a Wallace and Gromit Power
Yeah.
Wash Simulator
I kept
now.
forgetting to send that to you. Yeah, I noticed that. What?
Uh,
Why have you gotten it?
no, I was just pointing out that that exists now, apparently.
Yeah, also there's gonna be a Power Wash Simulator 2.
Yeah, he sent that.
I love how like the trailer was done by gnomes.
E.
Like the creators of that game just really have a thing for gnomes.
Woo! They're gnoming us all.
Oh yeah, I did find that the next uh SCP content farm. I did take a quick look at it. Their most recent videos. Oh my god, is it gonna be bad?
Oh, like you actually took a look at them?
Yeah, yeah. Their most recent videos is instead of actually going to the SCP Wiki, they went to the SCP Amino and grabbed not canon SCPs without the permission of the of writers, and made a animation of it.
Wait, and this is like the content farm that we're going to be looking at on Thursday?
No, it'll be like in May.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So, wait, so they're. So it's nothing but unofficial SCPs?
Only the latest 4 uploads.
Okay, so the latest 4 uploads will just end up getting hit with a big old can't review.
Well, granted, one of them I actually have found the amino page where they wrote it,
Mhm.
so we can actually look at the SCP that they stole from.
I see.
Yeah. I should probably go on intermission. Yep. Wait, a man who wasn't there, Hub. A dang noble to nobody. I love that.
You guys went through Nobody was in the bathroom.
No, we did
No.
not.
Okay, you're back.
Okay.
Now we can continue reading. If asked his identity, he replies that he is nobody. However, it is not known if this is a work of a single person or multiple agents of a single unknown agency. Their agenda is currently unknown, sometimes helping the Foundation, sometimes hindering it. Caution is recommended to if any field agents encounter an operative identifying themselves as nobody. This is probably
Are
be
they
the
even
hardest.
sure it's a man? What if it's multiple gendered people?
Well, it mentioned that, like, they most frequently show up as a Caucasian man.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
Peppy, stop!
Alright. So from the hub. Forward, the following document was recovered by Agent Redacted on Redacted. Redacted 1954 Redacted claims he was given a note by another agent whom he did not recognize. Full account of the incident can be found in document GOI 006-001, Nobody's First Appearance. The text details information on the supposed group or individual entity referred to as Nobody. The information is vague and inconclusive. No information includes No two individuals operating under the alias Nobody have been seen active at the same time. Frequently, though not always, Nobody appears to be an elderly male human of European descent, dressed in a gray or black suit. Nobody often provides unwarranted assistance to the Foundation. In other cases, Nobody will attempt to undermine the Foundation. Nobody is generally non-violent and non-hostile towards Foundation personnel. Agents are required to immediately report any individual matching this description or self-identifying as Nobody. Caution is recommended when dealing with this entity. Command will decide appropriate reaction to Nobody on a case-by-case basis. I want to say Foundation should probably not go to Britain, because I've seen a lot of pictures of people wearing this shit in Britain. I'm sorry. Alright, original text as follows. Dear sirs and madams of the Foundation, I hope that this letter finds you well. You do not know who I am yet. However, I fear that our paths will cross many times in the future. I am sending you this letter with the wish that our relationship will not be entirely hostile. Of course, I know that your organization can never officially adopt a policy other than open conflict with me simply due to my very nature. For this reason, I hope to address not the Foundation as an organization, but as a group of individuals. On those inevitable days that we meet in the field, I hope that you will remain amicable with me. It is for the safety of you and yours that I ask this. In order to demonstrate my goodwill, I will endeavor to reveal some truths about myself. In this career, as you surely understand by now, secrets are a form of strength, and hope that this debilitation will be a gateway towards your copacetic relations. Copacet? What?
I'm not sure about that.
Copacetic.
Copacetic relations. Got it.
Copacetic.
Copacetic. Got it. Surely the first question you must have is the questions of who I am. Unfortunately, this is a difficult answer for anyone to give, and perhaps more difficult for me than most. All I can say is that you will recognize me. Next question as to my objectives is equally as difficult to respond to. Often you'll find that our goals will overlap, and I'll attempt to assist you. And other times we will surely be in conflict. I hope that you will not cause these conflicts to escalate beyond what is necessary. And now the final question, and perhaps the most important and enlightening one. My motivations or why I am doing this. Here, at last, is an answer I can give without imprecision. I am not whole in any way that others are. I am not significant in the way that others are. I am unable to affect the world in the way others are. In the literal sense, I am a person without importance or influence, a nobody. All my efforts are to attempt to resist my very nature and undermine these truths about myself, like all sentient beings. I desire my existence to have meaning. I would also like to inform you that I currently act alone. However, it has come to my attention that there may be others that share my unique qualities. In the future, I hope to work alongside them, although it is equally likely that I'll always be merely an individual. At this moment, I am certain that you are beginning to question the veracity of this letter and the information that it provides. This could be a trick or falsity orchestrated by one of your many enemies. Unfortunately, I cannot offer any evidence other than my word. You'll have to concede on faith that I exist and that this information is accurate. However, I do hope that you will take my message to heart. Fate may have set us at odds, but that does not mean that we have to accept it. With all due respect, a nobody. Okay, now this is just sad.
Mm-hmm.
The guy just wants to be noticed. God damn.
In that case, ironically enough, I I think we might. Well, I guess not. Yeah, I think we might be looking at chaotic neutral.
So, are you thinking right now?
Well, if you're wanting to read something, go ahead. I was just saying, like, I, based on that, I'd say chaotic neutral.
Yeah. Dare, drugs are really extreme.
Radical, bruh.
uh, Asmodeus. Is he like the
Asmodeus.
sin of lust? Forget that correctly?
I don't fucking know.
I think he is.
I mean, I know I have a porn game that has that name in it.
Oh my god.
If that helps.
Oh yeah, I forgot we have a quote over here. A date notable to nobody. Nobody had done any of that, and nobody knows how to erase footage from live transmission. It's impossible. Well, that didn't help.
I. Okay. Thanks. What?
Alright, from a man who wasn't there, hub. The person known to the Foundation as nobody is seen by them as mystery, almost a force of nature, something unpredictable that can swoop in and change an entire operation for no apparent cause. There is no rhyme or reason for why he does what he does, or maybe there is. Again, neither of those helped. Yeah, I don't. The main thing he wants is to be noticed.
Have some effect on the world.
Yeah. It's just that he's I'm guessing cursed to not be noticed. Which is kind of fucked.
E.
So you're thinking like chaotic neutral, is that what you're saying?
That was
Yeah,
that's the. Go ahead.
chaotic neutral certainly sounds accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to? Do we want to read any of the SCPs or just go with that based on the information we have?
I mean, do we need to?
I
We
don't
could
think
look
so.
at.
Yeah, I
We
guess
don't need to, but we could look at one. But if we look at one, we should look at a shorter.
Yeah.
trying to see where it even mentions nobody.
Nobody seems to be mentioned.
Alt F, right?
Oh, wait, what?
Or Control F.
Control F. Search for nobody.
Nobody. Oh. It's in the description. Okay.
So then let's just read its description.
Right. SCP-1880 is a carved gemstone mounted in a gold depicting Alexander the Great cutting the Gordian knot, a common scene showed on similar non-anomalous objects of the same period. Though experts originally dated the object to the 4th century BC, the classical Greek period, recent developments suggest that it is, in fact, more recent and was made around the 1st century AD in Rome. 1880 displays no anomalous properties unless held by an adult human no less than 20 years old. When held by a suitable object, a mental link is created between him, her, and an unknown entity, henceforth known as -1. The object will then act as a two-way communication device, enabling the subject to hear and speak to -1, as well as allowing -1 some degree of influence over the subject. -1's voice, which could not be identified as either male or female, can be heard and recorded up to 2 meters from 1880's location during a conversation. Attempts to communicate with -1 varied greatly and result from a complete refusal of -1 to talk to the subject 14 times, a brief conversation 10 times, a lengthy discussion 5 times, and finally -1 actively and un... Fuck, how do I say that?
Unirad, uni, uni,
Unilaterally.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Unilaterally inserting information into the subject's mind 3 times. Initially, every subject attempting to use 1880 will undergo a minor to moderate physical or mental alteration, even if the conversation was denied. No connection between the identity of the subject using 1880 and the result has been found, and different results occurred even when using the same subject. Conversations with -1 are always broken from the entity's side, and all attempts to prematurely end a conversation with it thus far have failed. 1880 was delivered to MTF Sigma 5, Bronze Heads, Commander Redacted while he was off duty on vacation, redacted, by a middle-aged Caucasian man wearing a gray suit and fedora. The man was waiting for Redacted in his hotel room when Redacted returned to it at around 3 o'clock. When asked by Redacted for his identity, the man replied he was nobody. Commander Redacted attempted to subdue the man and bring him to questioning, but was overpowered and rendered unconscious. When Redacted recovered from the following morning, he discovered 1880 on his nightstand along with a note reading, "The knot was there for a reason." When Redacted touched 1880, first contact with 1880-1 was made. Redacted immediately brought 1880 to financial custody. Several theories about the nature of -1 have been made. Due to the lack of consistency in its actions, some researchers believe -1 is composed of several different aspects, each interacting differently with such subjects, while others theorize that -1 is not a single entity at all, but several unrelated ones.
Okay, so nobody is only in there as far as they handed it to a Foundation personnel.
Yeah.
So it just gave the SCP. Okay.
Do we
Yeah,
want
and
to?
when they tried to apprehend them, he kind of knocked them out.
So nobody's strong.
Note.
So we want to read something else, or
Hold on. Then I'll read one more, then we can make up our minds.
I feel like we've already made up our minds. We're just wanting to hear about nobody.
Yeah, and because so far all the descriptions are so vague. Honestly, even the SCP Bright Red just now was vague. Now we learned about the SCP, and we saw nobody do something, but it didn't feel like we learned about nobody.
Yeah. Though I guess that's kind of the point of nobody. They are
God,
inconsequential. Or rather, they are consequential, but we can't fully grasp it. I don't know. My head hurts.
look, use the search function thing.
I did, but it said it was in one of the goddamn footnotes. So I went to the
Oh,
bottom. So I had to find the goddamn footnote.
Oh no.
oh my gosh.
I had to find the here's the goddamn footnote. Oh, it's actually an interview with nobody.
Oh,
That's good info.
Alright. So date May 21st, 2010. Subject point of interest 4887. Point of interest 4887 is entity commonly encountered in cases involving point of interest 00000, nobody, resembling a tall European female covered in tattoos of Davite design. Oh no. Subject of a major info hazard projected by point of interest. I'm just gonna say nobody. That causes individuals to correctly conclude that she, among other subjects, is not nobody. The significance of this beyond the fact that point of interest 4887 is not nobody is unknown. Notes for presently unclear reasons, this file was encrypted by Officer Rodriguez, requiring Officer McTruss to provide a passcode in order to decrypt it. Begin log 1. Recording begins in dilapidated, unfurnished house. Scattered across the floor is a sleeping roll, plastic takeout boxes, and empty syrup packets. Point of interest 4887 paces the room, muttering indistinctly. while Officer Rodriguez and soon Officer Shao sit silently on the floor. This continues for approximately 3 minutes before Point of Interest 4887 stops. Retrieving a notebook from her person, she flips through a notebook for several seconds before settling on a specific page. Point of interest. Nobody sent you, right? That's correct. And nobody saw you. I feel as if I'm always been watching this town, but I couldn't. Fuck me, running. I asked you one thing, and you can't even. Point of interest for 87 size. Sorry. It's just, if anyone saw you, that's bad. But it's too late for that, right? Far too late for anything. Apologies, Mix. It's fine. Look, if Orpho knows I'm here, that's really bad news. Keep quiet about this, and if you see anyone with green eyes, you fucking run. Better yet, turn that camera off. I apologize, Mix, but the Foundation needs to hear whatever you have to say. Can't reason with jailers. Putting her book away, point of interest 48 needs 7 scratches at her skull. Alright, let's make this quick. This town is fucked. Whatever the hell Rockwell is doing here, I'm reasonably sure it has something to do with Calamity. Footnote 2. Redacted.
Oh no.
Thanks, footnote 2. So much information. How much info do you have on the Christian Ministries of America?
What? Oh, Rodriguez.
What? Great, your organization is fucking useless. With all due respect, Mix. I appreciate if you don't keep insulting us. What are you operating on? How much did they tell you? How much do they know? If you're telling me they sent you here without the slightest bit of intel on the CMA or Rockwell, you have a massive problem. Tell us what it is, then. Fine. Okay, you remember the moral majority, right? Farewell, Well-Rich, McActor, all those preachers who wanted to bring back segregated religious... Whoa!
That's
Oh my god!
yeah. That kind
I'm
of tracks
gonna look
with.
up at least one of them to see if they're real people.
Jesus Christ! Get them anomalies, that's the CMA. Rockwell's high in the org. What I hear and see, but he's not the only one. And I get the feeling, I'm sorry.
Oh, Farwell is a real person. He
Oh,
was anti Martin Luther King in the 1950s and 60s
that makes sense.
and pro segregation in public schools. He
Hmm.
didn't want the white kids to touch the black kids.
Damn. Anyways, I really want to help you. Your organization is a cancer, a net bad, but I really do believe you can stop this. I don't know what to say. I can't. If you stop insulting us for a single second, then. If I could say that Jonas could help me, I wouldn't have. No, it's just, I feel like if I say what I think about the CMA and only, it will come true. It's stupid and what I think is probably already true, but I just can't. I don't want to believe it's true. And what do you think? That one of interest 4087 pauses, mouth still open and attempts to say something, but retches instead. Finally, she shakes her head. This might make sense later. America is the whale. CMA is a squid and only is being played as the tentacles. What?
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 Tentacles, you say?
Oh my god. I'll remain silent for several seconds. This was a waste of time. You keep throwing words at us and expecting us to understand what they mean. Then you yell at us because we are never taught any of this. Who the hell is Orvo? What the hell is Oni? How the fuck does marine biology have anything to do with this? If you can't even give us the barest of background. I've heard of Oni. Looks like someone is in the know. Good for you. You want to share that with the class? Oh, sorry, Shao. I didn't think it was relevant. back on another project. We were sent to deal with one of their refineries. Apparently, they're not even a real GOI, just some astronomically unlucky industrial company. But how do they fit in? They don't strike me as the kind of conspiracy we'd expect from, say, the Blue Moon Society. I can't help you on the motive side, aside from they're probably desperate for money. But what tracking I could do on Rockwell and assistance is occasionally comes back to the center in Starling. The what? The only manufacturing center in Starling. You know, the one that employs half of Whitewater? I'll remain silent for some seconds. Oh my fucking god. Okay, so that didn't give us much information, just that they were called by nobody to come here.
Yeah, so nobody just shows up to drastically change events for their own attempt at confirming their existence,
Yeah.
and then ceases.
I feel
Goes
like
away
they're
for a
true
while.
neutral rather than chaotic neutral.
Mm, yeah, I could get that.
Yeah. So,
I go
wait,
for
so,
that.
instead of one of the neutrals? What? Sorry, I blanked out for a second by accident.
True neutral.
True neutral, sorry.
Yeah, it's slightly frustrating that they are true neutral, but I don't see any other way to look at them.
Yeah. They do
Yeah.
some good, they do some bad. In the end,
The
they're just
more you try to look into them, the more you don't really get them.
Alright. Next one. The Office for Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts.
Hmm.
Overview. The Office for Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts, or ORIA, is a paramilitary force answerable only to the supreme leader of Iran. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Dedicated to the collection and utilization of anomalous artifacts throughout the Middle East and Central Asia. Following the 1979 overthrow of the Imperial Iranian government, the revolutionary forces, and subsequent creation of the Islamic Republic of Iran, all Foundation personnel were expelled from Iran as agents of colonialism.
I mean, it's not entirely inaccurate.
Yeah, attempts at maintaining a clandestine presence in the country met with failure, with the majority of Foundation personnel either captured or killed in sites redacted, being captured by Iranian forces. To prevent Iran from being left behind in the field of extra normal research, the ORIA was created by the secret decree of the Supreme Leader Khomeini in 1981. Despite its name, the group has not limited itself to the pursuit of anomalous objects of Islamic origin. Although ORIA has access to considerable resources, its effectiveness is hobbled by infighting among numerous factions within the organization. Some of these disputes center around philosophical differences, such as weaponization of anomalous objects, while others appear to be personal in nature. The proliferation of factions appears to have been intentional, as the organization of ORIA often leaves multiple commanders with overlapping areas of responsibility. It, sorry. It is theorized that the reasoning behind this arrangement was to prevent any one individual from accumulating enough power to pose a challenge to the Supreme Leader. That does not surprise me. With the spread of Iranian hegemony throughout the Middle East and Western Asia, the ORIA has expanded its reach across the region, becoming the foremost paranormal organization in the Middle East. The ORIA is to be considered a hostile force, and Foundation personnel are advised to use extreme caution when engaging. So this is probably going to go into evil categories.
I'm gonna imagine it goes in lawful evil,
I'm agreeing with that.
because Again, big oppressive governmental organization, but anomalous interests.
Oh, this is apparently a document of Project Null, Coding Null. Project Head Null, author Jabril Actual. Destination all officers. Memorandum Null. August 12th, 1978. Confidential. Organization for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts. Sumerian Tehran Providence, Islamic Republic of Iran. From Chairman Mehdi Bazargan, Jibril Actual, to all field commander level officers, all facility commander level officers. Subject regarding current political instabilities. Reference null, enclosed null. 1. This document is being forwarded specifically to higher level officers only due to certain political consequences. For myself, should the full content of this be revealed publicly. I trust all of you will behave with the utmost discretion when discussing the contents of this memorandum with your subordinates.
Discretion?
Be discreet, they're saying.
Well,
They're
yeah,
saying
but
it
I've only...
stupidly.
It's discretion.
Oh, whoops. Alright.
Oh, I didn't even look at the word.
Yeah, it's discretion. I have never
Well,
heard
I
it
can't
pronounced
see where she
discretion.
is. Oh, yeah, I see. Discretion. Bright's not clicking anywhere near it, but she's clicking near enough where I was able to see it.
Yeah.
Anyways. 2. Oh no. The recent protests around Iran, which has served as a principal headquarters of this organization in the half-century since its inception, have grown too significant to ignore. While we have made every effort in the past to abide by the intent of the organization's founders to avoid official government association, I and the other members of the Central Committee have agreed that enforcing this separation is no longer in the best interest of the organization. 3. My sympathies with Rahula Ayatollah Khomeini and his movement are well documented. While I know many in the organization disagree with the fundamentalism, I doubt there are many who, in their heart of hearts, feel that Iran is better served by the despotic role of the Western puppet king. I have been in contact with Khomeini, who is aware of and tentatively interested in our organization, disturbed by its less than orthodox adherence to the strictest tenets of how the fuck do I say that?
Sharia? Or Shia?
Shia? Okay.
I could look it up very quick.
Yeah, cause I feel I really don't want to say that wrong.
Yeah, I think it's just Shia.
I'm okay. Shia. Wait, that's not even the word. That's just Shia.
Oh, well, okay, I guess I'll just read it as Shia.
You know what? I'm looking. I'm gonna use DuckDuckGo.
I guess I should just continue reading.
Okay.
Yeah. Shia and
DuckDuckGo has more accurate search results.
oh. I see. So it's still Shia?
Oh. People are spelling it Shia or Shia, so I guess it's Shia.
Got it. Alright.
I,
Hmm?
I don't know enough about Islamic stuff to understand the difference.
Yeah. Alright. Shia Islam, though he may be, 4. Two practical realities dominate the situation. First, we are not going to be rid of the Ayatollah or his movement. A central committee has projected a likely complete overthrow of the Shah's government and installation of some form of government under Khomeini by no later than this time next year. In assistance of opposition of this movement, which would not serve us, or autonomy, which would draw the ire of all sides, could lead to our destruction by those forces that do not understand the true role we play in protecting our homelands from foreign threats. Second, the Ayatollah is not likely to be rid of us. In my meeting with Khomeini, I revealed a specific portion of the plans for Operation Golden Horde, with a slight reminder that in a war of hearts and minds, 100-meter tall golems walking the streets of Tehran are not likely to be viewed as a positive harbinger of the new government. Jesus Christ, he actually wanted 100-meter tall. That actually kind of makes sense for Iran. Never mind. 5. By agreement for Khomeinites, Oria will formally become a wing of the new government as soon as it's installed in power. The Ayatollah feels that a degree of oversight could help us come to understand proper orthodoxy in time. We will directly begin providing assistance to the protesters as we are able to, up to and including the special artifacts that we control. This will provide an excellent opportunity for field application and demonstration for the military capacities of our stored artifacts. In exchange for this assistance in our eventual sublimation into government oversight, I have been assured that our effective autonomy will not be tampered with by the new government. Our operations will continue unabated. Our continued inclusion of the non-Iranian personnel from across the Muslim world, including Sunnis, Kurds, pagans, and Jews, will not be opposed by the government, and we will soon be receiving direct funding from the national government of Iran, which should help us advance our cause. House F. Senate has directly insisted that they be left out of this arrangement. What little interest they have in human politics does not extend to revolution, and they have expressed extensive concerns about Khomeini. They have agreed that our judicial alliance shall be continued with Oria as the principal intermediary between our peoples, but any disclosure of the existence of the Efsenites or any other jinn house may lead to the permanent termination of relations. I need not stress how damaging this would be for our cause. 7. I will be resigning my position as head of the organization effective immediately. The Ayatollah has requested, given my popularity and generally respected position among both fundamentalist Muslims in the country and some of the less enthusiastic moderates, that I take a more active role in his developing government. Muhammad Khatami shall replace me as the head of this organization as director, rather than being known as chairman. This title shall reflect the official name this organization will have within the new government, the Islamic Artifact Recommendation Directorate. 8. Protect our people, protect our nations, in all times. This mandate will always stand. 9. This memorandum, transmitted 23 Sharivar 1358, September 14th, 1978. Okay. Let's see. So I guess now we need to see an SCP. They have a joke SCP. They have a joke SCP.
And it's 666?
Yes, it's 666. This is gonna be the devil. I need to see this.
You have to look, don't you?
Alright. Wait. Alright. Alright, description. All individuals who board any vehicle or form of transportation that Dr. Gerald himself is controlling in any form are assured to die. Oh, well, that's just great. Testing has shown that even those who escape vehicles he has been driving are doomed. They are generally struck by another moving vehicle within minutes. In such cases, where passengers aren't near any other vehicles, they will fatally suffer an apparent anxiety-induced heart attacks. Dr. Gerald himself, oddly enough, always survives whatever horrors he puts a vehicle through. Additionally, all potential hazardous objects seem to become even more dangerous if he is manning a vehicle in their general vicinity. Knives penetrate more than their sharpness would accord. Normally benign oil tankers become moving bombs that will detonate with the slightest touch. Buildings lose any significant rigidity, and pedestrians seem to lose all forms of self-preservation, throwing themselves into his path. A mere bicycle ride can inflict the devastation of an EF3 tornado. What?
So it's just a guy. This anomaly is just a guy who's so bad at driving that he causes disasters no matter what. Everywhere around him.
That's a lot of destruction, though.
Addendum 666-1, Dr. Gerald is never to come within 25 meters of SCP-462.
What was 462 again?
I don't know. Hold on. It's a 1968 Chevrolet El Camino. It's a car.
I mean, that tracks.
Yeah. Addendum 666-2, plans are being made to construct a vehicle which can contain 682 long enough for Dr. Gerald to actually drive it. Okay, so where does it talk about... What the fuck? Where is it? Huh? Do they own the SCP? Oh, wait. A research team hypothesized that the road blades are technically vehicles. We tested our hypothesis by having Gerald skate into Oria's headquarters in Tehran. They were right.
So the only relation this SCP has to the GOI we're looking at is that they used this guy that the SCP Foundation used this guy to attack them.
Yeah. Okay, that was perfect. I'm sorry. Ooh, I haven't seen one of these in a while. An ARC SCP.
What's an arc?
I don't know what ARC means, but basically the last one I remember is the Broken Telekill Sword, which basically a single cut will wipe the object or person or whatever it cuts out of existence.
Oh.
So I have no idea. And it's a Keter, of course.
Oh, fun.
Alright. Description. Object has been determined to be a sphere approximately 2 meters in diameter. This is based on thermal imaging, radar, and X-ray tests. It apparently emits radio waves, heat, and radiation of varying degrees. There's no evidence to suggest the artifact is capable of locomotion, but it also has not been ruled out. Volunteers of both sexes who have undergone castration of the testicles and ovaries are required to keep the object stable.
What?
I'm sorry. Previous to redacted acquisition of the artifact, it was cared for by the Vatican eunuchs. Presently, it is cared for by Redacted, who are closely monitored. Proceeding as an excerpt from the research of Dr. Omid Mohammedian, the castrati used to attend the object are reluctant to discuss the object and never refer to it without provocation. The personalities completely change after the first exposure to the artifact, and the memories appear to become corrupted. When confronted by the scientific readings of the object, they become agitated and describe the object as a young black boy. What? When questioned about the artifact's abilities, they describe normal child behavior and refuse to acknowledge any paranormal activity related to the object. They do not appear to have a name for the object, or if they do, they do not discuss it with others. Their volatile nature makes it imperative that personnel restrict their contact with the castrati to the most basic of interactions, and that operators not attempt to gather more intelligence from the castrati. Continue to monitor objects' radioactive emissions, and thermal emissions, and any other emissions deemed necessary, record this data. The object itself appears to be sentient, or at least emotional. It'll make various demands through the castrati, from literature to music, cloth to raw uranium ore. Its demands are always financially feasible and easily met, but completely indiscernible. There's no apparent pattern, but when denied anything it desires, it begins emitting dangerous levels of radiation for just less than 2 miles, and reaching temperatures of upwards of 450 degrees Celsius. That's probably hot as shit. Not,
That's probably hot as shit.
I don't know Celsius, I don't know Fahrenheit.
What?
Right?
Oh my god, Spray. 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point.
Oh.
So yes, it's hot as shit.
Right?
Yeah,
Do you want to know how much it is in Fahrenheit?
sure.
842.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just slightly looked at the bottom and oh my god. Anyways, not until its demands are met with the artifact reduce its lethal emissions, it has been observed that satiating castrati has a direct effect on the mood of the artifact, angering them does as well. Also, the castrati should never be restrained and encouraged to spend as much time awake and with the artifact as possible. This has a drastically marked effect on the emissions of the artifact, reducing the potentially lethal emissions to almost zero. As long as this equilibrium is maintained, the artifact is harmless. Otherwise, it will become highly dangerous to life on Earth. Oh, that's great. The above is confirmed by current research. The artifact has a singular ability, however, that has only been known to be active when the artifact is approached by a human retaining their complete sex organs, and those who have normal levels of sex hormones. Immediately, the artifact will begin generating a massive gravitational field, pinning everyone in the room to the ground. In a few moments, however, the gravity will become so intense as to destroy anyone and anything in the room, destabilize the bunker, and cause seismic activity. The gravity field is known to be effective to up to a 3-mile spherical area around the object and have a force of 22 G. Attempts to provide the artifact with castrated non-virgins have also proven disastrous, as the artifact reacted extremely similarly. The only difference, however, is that none of the other volunteers present in the room at the time, nor the room itself, suffered ill effects, only the transgressor. But the transgressor wounds were consistent with sudden exposure to extreme gravity. It is speculated that if the object were to be in proximity to sensible expressions such as kissing or even copulation, then its capacity for destruction would be unimaginable. Jesus, do not show it Pornhub. Procedure 112.t outline data expunged. Addendum. SCP-112-ARC is no longer at Site 19. It has been removed by agents of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Oh no. And a violent attack on Site 19. How the fuck did they get a hold of Site 19? That's where 682 and the others are. Jesus.
I guess they really want the destructive ball of anti-sex.
Yeah. Directed at SCP-112-ARC, it was successfully taken by the foreign agents, and the former facilities for 112-ARC are now being used to contain SCP Redacted. Several plans are currently under assessment. Also, the infiltration and leaking of these documents are now under investigation. The rogue agent known as Bijan is believed to be involved, though the nature and level of his involvement is currently unknown. Data expunged. Okay, so this is a serious issue that this organization has this anomaly. Because, like I said, if it sees copulation or even kissing, its destruction would be unimaginable.
Yes, Sprite.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it already gets very destructive around people who can feel certain things.
Yeah. Alright. So, now I'm gonna go to the quotes real quick. Alright. From the Memorandum 009 regarding Project 736, in protecting the Yazidis, you remind other minorities, the secularist, the Nasrani, the Zoroastrians, the Sabians, etc., that our organization has not abandoned them in the chaos of 1979, and that they remain a valued part of our community. And Memorandum 009 regarding Project 736 again, if we are truly follow our mandate of protecting our people and our communities, we must begin by protecting those minorities who are the most vulnerable among us. The intent of the Daesh militants towards the Yazidis is nothing short of genocide, as my operatives in this region have witnessed time and time again at Quantania, Sanjar, and elsewhere. And of Mats and Masquerades. Why did I say Masquerades? Why did I say it like that? I did the Masquerades in the Uo voice by accident. I'm sorry, I need a minute.
Take your time.
Why did I do that? Alright. And Masquerades, he stood on the Shajada, turned towards Mecca, and began to pray. Oh, that didn't really give us information. Alright, so... do we have enough information now, or should we look at something else?
I think we have enough information, it's just not nice information.
Yeah.
The question is, what kind of evil is this, besides destructive?
Oh, I just deafened.
What? Oh, muted and deafened.
Oh no.
Is that shit okay?
I don't know.
Should we message them in private,
I
or?
just did.
Okay.
Oh, did you see the thing I put in Alphabet Mafia? The SCP thing? It's above your video.
Yeah, I saw that.
I want to know how to do that.
Oh my goodness.
We should probably go on an intermission while we wait for Hatchet. This will probably be the last GOI for tonight.
I don't want to go further without Hatchet.
Yeah. Hopefully Hatchet's okay. Oh, they undeafened. Hey, you alright?
Yeah, just stuff outside of this. I'm
Okay,
alright.
yeah, we got worried for a second. I saw you were deafened and everything. Got worried.
I'm alright.
Yeah. Anyways, so where in evil do we put this? I'm immediately ruling out incompetent evil, because they are very
They're
competent.
very competent, which is
Yeah.
not a good thing.
Yeah.
I was thinking lawful evil, but at least one of those quotes
Yeah.
to me implies that there's some amount of division on whether or not they blindly serve the state of Iran or have their own moral structures in place.
Yeah.
But I don't know, wholly.
Hmm.
I would say either lawful evil or neutral evil.
Yeah.
Whichever y'all prefer, I'm fine with.
Yeah, I don't think they're on the same levels as Arcadia or Chaos Insurgency, Cold Scarlet King, and stuff like that. So they're definitely evil. But, like, I don't think they're that far down. 'Cause they do what they think is best for their country. Yeah. I'm kind of leaning more to lawful. Because they seem to, like, have their own morals on what this should be done and everything.
Fair enough. Is Jiri still here?
Yeah, Jerry's still
Yeah.
here. What do you think, Jerry?
Okay.
Anything that involves calling it a competent sort is good to me. I mean, I don't like the evil, but that's part of what makes it so effective.
Why are so many of the goddamn
Well, you
groups of
just put it in
interest?
chaotic neutral.
Oh, whoops! I meant put lawful evil. Why are so many of the fucking GOIs in the like evil area? Like there's
Look, at least there's quite a few in chaotic neutral.
yeah, but majority are in evil.
Well, yeah.
I mean, when writing a story for the Foundation, you have to, like, if you're wanting the Foundation to be the good guys, with them being true neutral, you have to go pretty evil with them,
Oh
with their
yeah.
opponents.
Oh yeah, I know there's one that's gonna get in one of the incompetents. The shark punching organization. That's gonna get put
Wait,
in one.
that's on here?
Yes, that is a group of interest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And also they do have their own anomalies.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, they have a fish version of the Ouroboros cycle.
Anyway,
Yeah, this is ending
what's
soon.
next?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, you're ending stream?
Yeah, I think I want to end stream here with that one. I can't see what the next
Oh.
one is. The I don't know how the fuck to say your name.
Oneroy Collective.
Oh, well, they're affiliated with nobody. That would have been nice to know earlier.
Huh. What, are you just feeling extra tired, Bright, or?
But yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it here.
Eh,
That alright with everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, you're the one streaming.
Yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. I am glad that I think the reason my jaw started getting better is that, well, during my day I just not been speaking or open my mouth as much. But since I've been constantly speaking, it seems like my pain's going down. So I probably just had to keep moving my mouth multiple times in order to get rid of the pain instead of just ignore it.
And
I'm an
you're
idiot.
laughing about it.
I feel so stupid. If I'd known just open my mouth would get rid of the goddamn pain, I would have gotten rid of it.
Well, no one would really know that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it could also just be that you're distracted.
Could be that too, yeah. Alright. So now to go raid a random person. Cause I just want to raid every show. I want to raid someone. This is what I'm gonna do. And I want to make it sure that it's random each time. Like that.
Unless it's like deciding to raid one of your friends.
Yeah, unless I want to raid one of my friends. I have not raided you. I'll go choose you. Alright. Alright, put raid words in here. Alright. The only thing I hate about the Daryl thing is that you can't click behind it, Daryl.
Oh,
So that means, like, if you want to send a message on the Twitch thing, because I have it in the bottom right corner, you have to move him in order to type a message. Yeah. Jerry, do you have nice words for stream?
Uh, just remember, if an organization is anomalous themed and affected by a country, it's probably not a good one.
Yeah. Hatchet, any last words for stream?
when I don't know. Some people really shouldn't drive, I guess.
Yeah, I like how the only connection between that and that Oria was that they just had him drive into Oria's headquarters. Which is just funny as shit. Yeah. Alright, anyways, Danger Noodles, I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you guys next time for your next mission. Tomorrow, I'll be playing the game again, the game about digging your hole, because I want to go ahead and unlock all the achievements. So yeah, I know Jiri enjoyed me playing that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be around 9 o'clock p.m. EST, depending on if work wants to keep me late, like tonight. But it's fine, because I prefer having a good amount of money, so I don't mind it. Anyways, hope to see you guys next time for your next mission again, And be good to the person we're raiding. Goodbye. And penis mall torture.
Did you just say penis mall squisher?